Hey y'all, grown black folks talk back out on the climb. I have not been out here for a minute. There is an awful lot going on, and with it there being so much going on, I'm trying to make sure I stay on top of it. I have refused, and I advise you to let Nick, Cam, and Bryant distract you from the billions of opportunities that are literally going on. And when I say billions, I mean that. I was reading a report last night. Well, okay, let's look at the two things that you may know about. Obviously, Kamala Harris is running for president. And you probably know she's a biracial black woman. That is, her father is ethnically Jamaican African of descent. If you go back and look at the pictures and do some research, and then she's also half Indian. Well, you know that already. You may know, if you follow financial news, that the Fed is considering dropping interest rates, and that usually leads to money being freed up for more investment. And then, if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you know about the crypto bull run. My book and my course will be in the description. And so you have options at all price points. So let me advise you to get involved before 2.2 billion people get in front of you. I read a report last night. India, Nigeria, Indonesia, and the United States are the top four. The only European country mentioned is Ukraine. And rounding out the top six is Vietnam. So provided all goes well, you're about to have a president that can link up the Indian and the African American portion of this, and the United States already in fourth. And black people in Nigeria and actually West Africa in total, because I have contacts across West Africa because of Hive. I'm a curator there, and that's also how I got this information about what's going on in crypto in India. The United States is not in first place. So no matter what the United States does on crypto, if you have the skills and you understand crypto, there are 3 billion people that need the knowledge you have. What do you think I'm doing with this information? Why do you think I'm not here as often? I'm out here finding things out and making things happen and positioning myself the best I can. That's what's going on. I don't have time. The only thing that you need to know about Nick and Brian and Cam is that, as Auntie Love says, they are a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. That's all. They are the same studs, and if they were allowed to be as violent as they might want to be, they'd be the same drivers that every day 160 years ago, black women had no better financial options because they were enslaved than to have to lie down and be forced. And if a white man wanted to force her, he could do that too on pain of death. The difference is, once we learn how to know better than to volunteer to be mistreated and to sell ourselves out, then we're going to stop breeding the new slaves in this country. You have black men up online. Y'all can check this out on Controversial Shannon, where black men are coming up online talking about, I'm so sad my son died, but at the same time, I'm happy because I'm done paying child support. It's like, I don't even have time to convince you anymore that this is not the culture you need to marry into. Now, I did not say all black men were doing this. Just like there are black men in Africa who are moving very well in crypto and are doing amazing things. There are villages in Africa that are using Hive to build boreholes, getting them access to clean water. No government, including the governments of these countries, is interested. No non-governmental organization cared. These men took the power on the blockchain and made some stuff happen. In Venezuela, where the economy has kind of been in collapse for a minute, people in Sucre State got together, including people of Afro-Latino descent, got together and decided, no, we're going to build a district where we can spend our Hive-backed dollars. That's just Hive. That's not even counting on all the things that are being done in Bitcoin in the world. How do you think Ukraine is number 5? Their whole system is being disrupted by this war. How do you think they got to number 5? Crypto is being used by the masses who are being threatened by larger powers, larger geopolitical games. Well, they're using crypto to get around it, which means there's adoption. You don't have to be on one side or another in any of these conflicts. I live in the United States of America. I have enough problems, so I don't have to be on one side or another in any of these conflicts. What you do need to think about is, where is opportunity being made, and stop listening to these people that have nothing to offer you. I don't have time to contribute to the arguments about Nick and Can and Brian. Brian McKnight is being abandoned, as he should be, by his audience base. You're going to breed you some black children, call them the product of sin, and not confess your own? Now, There's whole family dynamics that go with that. There's things but it's just like you're supposed to be the father, the patriarch, and all the rest. So you're not supposed to be out here coming doing your concerts and taking time on your concerts to complain about your family situation. And he doesn't think the new wife is watching him lose money all over the place for having done that. He about to take care of himself. Nick and Cam are going to stud the way Nick and Cam want to stud and breed until they're no longer of use. But understand that in the United States of America, no matter who gets elected, the United States is going to continue to try to revert. Because people are mad that they can't live like they assume their great-grandparents did at your expense and at your children's expense. And the 13th Amendment said slavery is abolished except in the case of felony imprisonment. So all you have to do is continue to do the foolery about black women are breeding prisoners. They're basically telling you to your face in Project 125 when they don't mention any kids being born to single mothers, but of black children. They're basically letting you know your position in the system is going to be stay with these evil men who do not want to care about their kids, or be cut off from everything and breed us some prisoners. Either way, actually. Nick and Cam and Brian are doing exactly what they're called to do and are permitted to do in a system like that. Understand that. But there are 3 billion people out there trying to give you a better opportunity. If you just pick up on this one thing, and there are many more opportunities out there. I need you to listen to Mocha Mommy. I need you to listen to Level Up Single Mom. I need you to listen to Aunties with Confidence with Love and I when we come back on different subjects. I need you to listen to Confidence with Love, and she tells you about the history of our people. Repeat. Now, of course, on the side of divinity, she and I very starkly disagreed. But there's some historical information that you need to know about that there's no reason to argue about. Understand the importance of black women to this economy, and understand that it's time that we harness that power for ourselves. She says all the time, people want to harness us. That is not hyperbole. Literally, black women had bits in their mouths and were harnessed. It's called a coffle, technically. I need you to understand that everything old will be new again. If you have Jewish friends, ask them to ask their grandparents. If you have an opportunity to get skills that will allow you to be somewhere else but here at this particular moment in history, ask your Jewish friends if their grandparents think it might be a good time for you to stop paying attention to foolery and pay attention to the opportunities coming around you. If Kamala Harris is elected, understand that that's going to create a confluence of opportunity that is never going to come again in our lifetime because of the way the economy is lining up. That may not happen again. I'm 43. Still may not happen again. With violence getting the way it is, some of us may not live, you're unaware and not paying attention. And then sometimes just things are random. You may not live as long as you think anyway. So you may as well go ahead and do the things you need to do to get yourself and your children set up, instead of listening to these men tell us over and over and over again. And the culture that values them telling us over and over and over again, we don't exist for any reason but to give them kids. And by the way, that culture includes J.D. Vance, who thinks that all woman's there to do it. If you're done doing that, then take care of, we don't have to pay for child care. You're now supposed to take care of the next generation. And that's all you're there to do. J.D. Vance is so mad that his mother was no good. It is sad, pathetic, desperate, and tired. I could feel sorry for him if he wasn't trying to angle for a position he has no business being in. These are the kind of people that want to run this country. Are you sure you don't want to stop paying attention to Nick and Cam and Brian's foolery and get on doing what you need to do? Just food for thought. Bye. Have a good day, and thank you for listening.